Alright, in this clip we want to talk about what are the loops in Unity. For example, we have an array of variables, integer variables. We want to check them one by one or do something, change the numbers for each element. So we need to have a loop. I already made in part 5. Look at this. We have different kind of loops. For each, while, do while, and other kinds of loops in Unity we can implement. But the most common loops in Unity are these three guys. Okay, let's talk about for. For example, we have an array which called x. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. These are the variables inside the array of x. Okay, we want to print them. It means in the console we need to see x equals 1, x equals 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so we will use this structure which called for. Okay, we need to have a counter. As far as you remember, if we wanted to have access to the one of these elements inside an array, we need to write something like x equal x the element 2, for example. So it is numbers 0, 1, and 2. So x2 is equal 3. Look at this. If we want to have access number 9, it will be something like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's gonna be number 8. So it will be like this. But for printing all of them, if we don't want to use a for this structure, we need to write something like this. I'm copying this part, but it's okay. First, the element 0, element 1, element 2, element 3, until element 9. Sorry. Okay, for printing all of these numbers on elements inside it. But what's gonna happen if we have, for example, 100 elements? We need to write 100 row lines here. Or if we don't know how many elements we will have in this array. No, this is the dynamic array. Imagine. Okay, what's gonna happen? But we need to use instead loop. Okay, for or other kinds of loops. For example, here we need to have a counter for putting inside the array, the element counter in fact, how many times we want to check the counter. The I is our counter, so the I until when the I is less than the length of this array. Right now the length of this array is 10, okay? But if we have 25, this x dot length gonna be 25. So until it doesn't reach, it is less than 25, it repeats. And in here it's for repeating the loop and also increase the amount of our counter. And here we will, inside these brackets, we will write our code. It can be anything, but what matters is we need to have access to each element by using this I. It means, let's check one by one all of this. Whenever I is equal 0, okay, I is less than 10, 0 is less than 10, okay, let's print x equal x element 0. So it will write for us number 1. So after we have done these processes, it can be any line, any orders, okay? After we have done all of these orders, let's do I++. Now is I is equal 1. 1 is less than 10, yes, correct. So print x equal plus x element 1. So it will be number 2, x equal 2. And okay, we have done, let's plus I. So I will be 3. It will be repeating until we have number 10, okay? I is equal number 9, okay? I++, it will be I equal 10. 10 less than 10? No. Okay, we have done. No need to read this line anymore. And 4 will be finished. Now let's test this 4 here. And let's go to this Unity engine. And let me add this part 5 script into the main camera components. Look at this. It's just in a snap, but x1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is exactly that thing we wanted to see. Okay? Just with 3 lines. No need to write, for example, 100 lines or 10 lines or anything else. This is the example for 4. It can be used for anything. Imagine instead of this integer array, we can have game object arrays or anything else. Excuse me. Here we have another loop which called for each. Okay, for each, it's the use case for each is for whenever we want to check something from an array of strings. It's different. We will say, okay, everything inside this array, not any number. And remember, this integer I equals 0, it can be a start from example, integer I equal 8. So, as a result of this 4, we will have just 2 numbers, number 9 and number 10, element 8 and element 9. That's it. Okay, so we can manage our for loop as well. But in the for each, we will say, okay, my friend, let's bring all of elements of this array, everything, no counter, no checking, no anything else. For example, we will say we have a string array of x and hello, Tom, honey, apple, Faisal. Okay. Now inside the for each, we will say one parameter of this array. It is a string, so it's supposed to be a string. Item in x, this array, all of them right here. Item is equal item. And now, look at this. Okay. Ta-da! We have all of them. Hello, Tom, honey, apple, Faisal. This is exactly that thing we wanted to see, we expected to see. This is another use case for each. And the last one is while. Imagine we want to say whenever our player health is equal 100, okay? Whenever our player's health is more than 50, we will say player is alive. Or for example, we will write more than 0. It means, he is alive. Player is alive. Okay? In fact, whenever we have this condition equal true, okay, we will have these orders. It can be anything inside this space, many lines calling any function or whatever you want. or say, but you know, for example, else it will be something like this, you know. Or for example, if while player health is less than 0, we will write player is dead. Okay? So let's check it. It's a kind of if, you know? The difference between if and while is always working, but if works just one time, you know? The difference between if and while is exactly that, consistent and repeat the whole functions. These are the most common loops in the Unity. Okay, I hope these will be helpful for your project and your C# scripting especially. Okay, let's go to the next step.